Hey folks, Chewy here, and yada yada, you've seen the title, let's get straight into the video. So first things first, here's my overall kingdom layout. I have arranged it of having producers over on the left, and then the materials over on the middle, and then cookie houses on the right, and the landmarks wherever I see fit. And to get a better look at it, we can use the prosperity tab. So currently I have 20.4 million prosperity, which leads me to be top 2.6% in all of Dark Cow. And taking a closer look, we have 4 million of that prosperity coming from Cookie Castle 12, which I feel like is a pretty good stopping point for now since it unlocks a lot of doubled up materials. By that I mean materials that can be worth double points in the Duke's Strait Harbor, or worth double wishes in the Tree of Wishes, sort of like the Red Berry Wine, I believe it's called, or Rhueberry Brook. And then following that up, we have territories expanded with 48. To be frank, it doesn't really matter for now. I'll probably get it higher when I'm looking to hunt for prosperity, but for now, it's just whatever. And then landmarks. This one's quite interesting. So I have a total level of 130 on landmarks, with Eternal Hero Memorial at level 1. I don't really have a use for Eternal Hero Memorial. It's just pure vanilla that I'm using for now. I mean, I have White Lily, but I don't see any reason to use her for now. And then Chocolate Altar of the Fallen at 11. That's the crit damage landmark, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just lacking. It should be 20 by now. I'm just lacking. Again. And then Skull Island Resort and the other one, Grand Desert Tower, both at level 10. They produce stamina jellies, so I max them out first since I can actually claim those rewards easily, as opposed to the other resource landmark that I have being Gumball Arcade Machine and Ferris Wheels, since it's a bit hard to actually collect the rewards and make the upgrades worth it, since oftentimes I find that when I wake up, the Soul Stone has been sitting there for like 8 hours. So the upgrades aren't really worth it in my opinion. I just have it up to 7 or 8 because it should be just about the point where further upgrades don't add a lot, but previous upgrades are cheap. And then the last resource landmark that I have is this Star Candy Observatory. Very underrated landmark. You get a lot of coin from battles. Like considering just Beastie's hard mode alone, you get 1.8k, 180k per day on 1 hard. It goes up drastically when you're clearing 130 hard. But for now, I'm only able to clear 1-1. I have it at level 7 because the initial investment is 200k coins, and then the early levels are like 10k, 20k, but it keeps on increasing in price, and the upgrade to level 8 costs 200k coins, so I'm stopping it at level 7 for now. And then stat landmarks. Ominous Cake Tower at 20, it is what it is. I can go on a tangent on why it being its own bounty is a bad thing, but that's not the discussion for today. And then we have the Dark Lord's Castle at level 10. Very important landmark, lots of stats. Would definitely be highly recommended to get it up to level 10 first or second. And then Morning Dew Garden and Dreaming Lion Statue, I believe that's HP and attack. Important stats, and then Everwinter Snow Globe at 9. Less important, but still important since it's defense. Eerie Haunted Houses at 10, which gives a crit. Very nice for Cream Puff and all DPS cookies in general. And then TikTok Clock Tower at level 7. Again, I'm just lacking. It should definitely be 10 by now. It's just a lot of production. Afterwards, we have the production buildings. You can take a look at it. I'm not going to stop and commentate on it. And then the cookie houses. I currently have 36 cookie houses in total, with a total level of cookie houses being 282. That leaves me with almost an average cookie house level of 8. A bit low for my liking, but at the same time, it's probably standard for around my level of players. I do have two upgrades for level 10 queue though, so that should be pretty nice for my EXP economy. And that's about it for the prosperity tab. And for general account details, with the account being 31 days old, that means I have an average wish count daily of like 50, 55. And for completions, I've cleared story mode to 18-9. I'm not stuck, I'm just lazy. Same with dark mode and master mode. VCs, I've cleared all the way to 1-30, but I needed to clear it on story mode. But to balance it out, I cleared 1-1 on hard. Arena tier currently Elite 3, but I did manage to hit Elite 2. Cookie Alliance, Master 4, I have about 1.8 million score by now. I'm just getting stuck on the Golden Keys boss since a lot of my cookies died during the Wave 8 Brute boss. So I'm looking forward to trying to remedy that and hopefully getting close to clearing Expert this season. And I'm really hoping for a small meta shift next season. Just a small one, nothing too big. And then afterwards, we have our labs. I'm going to be honest, some of my labs are pretty good. The other one, I am heavily lacking. So, starting on the kingdom side, I've started working on Smithy a bit and cookie house production. I worked on Smithy because, well, you need Smithy tools for basically everything, and cookie houses because I do need the EXP and I need to start getting them early since I do focus on Alliance, and that's quite a big EXP sink. I haven't invested a lot into the basic resources like Jelly Bean and Sugar Cube because there's this neat trick you can do with speed ups to get a lot of it really quickly. Not efficient, but it's a huge help for quality of life. Then production dashboard, and that's all for Kingdom. I'd like to go all the way to these two, but as you can see, I'm running very low on stakes. And for the cookie side, these are Stargillies, the two masteries at level 1, then the other mastery at level 1. Yep. And then as for HP and other defensive stats, kind of lacking, kind of whatever. But for the attack stats, it's also lacking. I don't even have healer and support attack bonus at 1, which I should really do. They're super easy upgrades and give the most marginal benefit out of the entire tree. Although I do have quite a few upgrades into Bomber and all cookies. So that kind of balances things out. I am mostly going to work on the attack tree for now. And then the next big upgrade is like lab level 9, where I unlock this node, where the first upgrade gives all cookies 10 crit damage, which is pretty huge. And then for my statue progress, I currently have 4 slots in the Hall of Ancient Heroes. And for my statue, it is level just fixing that up. Level 30. I can get it to 31, but I'm hoarding at least one emergency disciple slot. Luckily, that's going to open up soon, so I shouldn't need to worry about it, but you never know. And then I am pending on another big chunk of radiant crystals for now. I'm at 7.1k arena medals, and I just need a bit more to get the big sum of 3,000 shards. I mean, I've actually avoided these two soulstone slots because, to be frank, you don't really need them. Like Crimson Coral, where are you going to use her? I already have a solid PvP team. I have a one-shot-ish variation, basically shit scam, and then a more stallish variation. So PvP only cookies really go on my priority. That's why I don't use White Lily. I mean, you can technically use Golden Keys for PvE, but she's less efficient. So all of my arena medals are going straight into Radiant Shards. And now for cookie quality. If we're going by cookie quality by rarity, I do have quite a few pretty good cookies. I managed to pull Sea Fairy and Moonlight randomly, Moonlight twice randomly, and I picked Frost Queen from my starter account, Legendary Cookie Selector. And as for the Ancient Psychic Dragons, I have Pitaya randomly. They are never being used ever until they get the Crystal Gem. White Lily from a random pull, Hollyberry from one of my earliest pulls, and then Pure Vanilla I got from the Might of the Ancients event. I am using him for Alliance and PvP for now, but that's mostly because I haven't built. Where are they? Snapdragon yet. Well, I'll still use PV in Alliance, but in PvP, no. If we're going off of build cookies, my naturally 8 cookies, including creme brulee, prune juice, financier, fettuccine, rebel, and cream puff. Very, very flexible units. Creme brulee is the best single target DPS, and it's not even close. Prune juice, amazing in beasties, hard and required for the Red Velvet Dragon. Financier, amazing tank in Cookie Alliance, amazing overall tank for creme brulee since he's very squishy, and amazing in PvP. Fettuccine, the has so much damage sustain. He scared me so much throughout the early levels, and he continues to be the best tank in the game when it comes to solo survivability. Rebel, great DPS for the early game, great DPS for mobs in general, the best debuffer in the game, and also used for the RVD. And I do use him sometimes for a hit scam. Cream Puff, the best PvE healer and buffer. Do I need to say more? Cream Puff is amazing. And for the Hall of Ancient Heroes, I currently have 3 in the hall. That being Vanilla, as I said, where I used them in. Moonlight Cookie. This is interesting. I do use Moonlight alongside Frost Queen for my Frost Comp in Alliance. So that's where he goes. And I also did use her to clear 1-1 hard mode Beast Yeast. And Fizzy Gummy. He's just for AoD. Simple as that. And if we're going by my candies, I have Cream Puff all the way to plus 20. When I saw that White Lily was going to be a DPS instead of support, I started going ham into investing in Cream Puff. He is not going to get power crap for at least another 4 months at this point. These buffs are just so insanely good. And then following that, we have Rancière at plus 10. Again, I need her for the Cookie Alliance, but she also makes an amazing tank for PvP, which what it was. And she allowed me to push to Elite 2 in Arena. And then Crystal Jam, we have Frost Queen at plus 1. I have enough Arcane Crystals, I have enough Life Jewels. I don't have this. And I also need those to ascend Cream Puff. Like, my Cream Puff can be 5A if it wasn't for the rare soul essences. And then Pinecone is a very unique choice, but basically I need them for Frost. I have 18 out of 54 needed to plus 10 it, and I'll probably stop at plus 10 because the marginal benefit is very, very low. Madeline plus 10 for the Avatar of Destiny, Snow Sugar plus 10 both for Frost and the Alliance as well as RVD. Black Raisin plus 10, and I am working on plus 20ing her. I just have a really low amount of strength crystals after building Financier. Probably the best weakness debuffer in the game for a while. He gives replaceable vibes, but he doesn't give immediately replaceable vibes, if that makes any sense. Mozzarella, I hauled her, then I removed her. I'm not clearing Beast Yeast anytime soon. And Minchoco, you don't need Minchoco leveled luckily, so he's just staying at 35. And for my upcoming builds, so White Lily is actually a pretty low priority, and by the time I get to her, he's probably going to be power crept in the arena, the life of an arena DPS. And instead, I'm actually setting my eyes on Seafaring Caviar. For one, I'm able to clear 1-1 hard, so I should be able to get a few more pretty okay legendary beast goods for them, especially Caviar. And Caviar is the best burst DPS in the game, and I do kind of need him for Beastie's hard mode. It is getting nerfed, but if the nerf isn't significant, I will need Caviar for Beastie's hard mode. But the reason why I need both of them is Also, the same reason why I'm currently building up mango resonance materials. I don't have mango here yet, but it's Alliance as well. I need the Caviar Alliance team so I can hopefully try to get Expert done this season, maybe early next season. And that's about it for cookies. I am about 800 wake up points for Icicle Yeti, so I can't wait to get them. And Snapdragon, someday. I'll build them someday. Triggers, I have Robe at level 7. I always have Robe as one of my rate ups, and then Scroll, and then Whistle at level 6 because my Whistle is actually getting pretty far ahead, and it's not like the most important treasure as opposed to Epic Scroll. I put it out of my rate up and instead put in the Seamstress Pincushion. I need to rush for 100 million AOD and RVD damage for now, since that's how much Olympus, a Grandmaster 2 guild, is going for. So whenever they're open, I need to be ready. For the lower tier, of course, I have Kilowatts at 12 and Disciples Rare Scroll at 10. And I think that's about it for the screen. Alright, Guild Boss. I am currently in a Grandmaster 3 guild around top 80, but I was able to be scouted by a top 50 Grandmaster 3 guild, so I'm gonna be moving guilds next round. Because currently, like, look at this, it's not even level 100, and people are still doing Living Abyss, so yeah, I'll be excited to move. A little bit more Torques wouldn't hurt. For my guild damage, I'm currently reaching at most 250 million on each boss, but more expectedly just 200 million on an average run. I don't know how there's that much variance in Cookie Run Kingdom, but whatever. So, oh, right. Exp Reserve. I actually have a lot of EXP in reserve from the Tower of Frozen Waves. I'm like at stage 90 now. And look at this. Level 80. And I still have, what's that? 5, 5.5 million EXP left after taking a cookie from 60 to 80. So I basically have 2 level 80 cookies that I can choose at any time from now. I am currently thinking Frost Queen, but another part of me is thinking get her to 50, get him to 80, and then haul her. And for my current storage, I have 18k crystals ready for Mercury Knight. I have a level 50 concentrate. I have 2 of these from the special episode 40, 60, 70, 80. Soul Course ready for when I 5-star prune. Yep. Then 90 of the 2 selector life fuel selector. Some resonance selectors, some skill powder selectors. And I've got some resonant toppings in store, especially sea salt toppings. I have way too much of these. Wait, can Caviar take them? Ah, shame. And for the life fuels, 300 of these two, except for Frost Queen, since I actually built hers. And MC Resonance Mats. Again, I'm starting to build Mango. I'm starting to plus 20 Raisin. I have enough for Caviar plus 20 already. I just need these damn strict crystals. And I've done enough pulls to start maxing out my common. Epic Soul Essences and Legendary Soul Essences come a lot from first clear rewards, especially Master Mode. I'm just missing Rare Soul Essences. You know, there are 6 cookies that take Swiftness Crystals. And Black Pearl has no PvE usage. 2 of the cookies that use Swiftness Crystals are Vampire and Cream Unicorn. Madeline is being replaced with Blackberry soon. Rye cookie is only used for early AoD clearing. And Sorbet Jar cookie is already out of the meta. We have 0 top tier swiftness cookies. Zero, nil, nada. That's gonna be fun. Arcane. Surprised I actually don't have less considering I plus 20 puff, but I mean, we do get a lot of arcane crystals from first clear rewards. Like, we get 300 plus a bunch from the Mermaid's Tail, and then an additional how many from the Trial Grounds. So that's nice. Enough said. And as I said before, a lot of EXP jellies in store. I can explain. Let's move on. And I have a total of 300, 6.3, total of 7,000 minutes in speed ups, 325 CCPs, a slight imbalance in Aurora materials, and then not too good of an item stock. Oh, and these two, I guess. Oh, and a lot of bites though. That's enough for like 2, almost 3 legendary biscuits to 20. So overall, what do I think? I think I've invested very well in my cookies that can be used in multiple game modes, Scass, Rubble, and Creme Brulee, and I've avoided cookies like Black Pearl, which are only usable in PvP, and using my knowledge of hit scam, I was able to push Arena to a pretty solid amount, and I've managed to get into a very good guild for now. So Alliance could use some work, but still going pretty solid. I really like my MC developing. I like my MC development though. Cream Puff plus 20, Pinecone plus like 3, 4, Snow Sugar plus 10, Black Raisin plus 10, Madeline plus 10, Caviar soon to be plus 10. And honestly, in terms of cookie quality, yes, my account is stupid lucky. But in terms of actually using the cookies I got lucky with, I haven't used her at all. I haven't used them at. I will admit, getting multiple moonlights was really lucky. But I cleared one hard with a level like 66 moonlight. Her skill is level 30, and I still haven't promoted her. So, eh. Although not getting duplicates of Frost Queen was actually quite lucky since, yeah, I actually do need all 3 of these legendaries separately. Like that one, I will admit, is very, very lucky. But aside from that, Cream Puff, in under a month, I have had enough soulstones and soulbursts to 5A her. Very proud of that. Mm. Like, the account has really good direction. I'm quite confident in the cookies I'm going to build next. It's also important to note that when I started, I still had the Tower of Sweet Chaos on its last season. So I got like stupid amounts of EXP from that since it got buffed like 250% total when you factor in the ad keys. So I did get a big head start there. And then the anniversary gave out a free level 80 concentrate. But still, even then, I'd say my kingdom development is pretty good. My labs and landmarks are a bit lacking. My overall cookie strength is very, very good. And I have a pretty good overall future. 7 out of 10, stop being so lazy.